Alrighty, hi, my name is Rose, and I am a veteran broadcast journalist, one of four All of Us moms, who are trying to introduce kids to current events a little bit every day. And the reason is simple. We believe that a little bit of news can go a long way towards getting the next generation engaged and informed in the world around them. The problem is that nearly 2/3 of all kids say that the news leaves them scared and afraid. And that's because, and I've made the sausage, I know who it's made for, it is directed towards adults, and the headlines speak for themselves. There's so much news out there that is inappropriate or you just do not want your kids a part of, and yet there's a world of information out there that you wish you could share. So where do we begin? We're hoping with KiDNuz. We've created a first of its kind daily 5-minute news podcast just for kids. It is 6 to 7 current events every day, from politics to sports, science, entertainment, and health. It is all completely age-appropriate, kid-friendly, and none of it is anything a parent would need to worry about or be concerned that their child was hearing. It is nonpartisan, educational, engaging, and interactive. And what we're finding is that kids who were once scared of the news are now asking teachers and parents to play it each and every day.
Good morning and welcome to KiDNuz. I'm Tori.
We play KiDNuz every morning, usually at breakfast. If we don't get to it, then we play it on the way to school.
Among 50 people accused of bribing officials to get their children into the nation's top schools is Lori Loughlin, who played Aunt Becky in the Full House sitcom.
The 4 or 5 minutes while we're listening to KiDNuz is probably one of the best times of the day because everyone is engaged. With a 13-year-old daughter, an 11-year-old son, and a 6-year-old son, there's always something in KiDNuz that's interesting to all of them.
In science news, a wild idea from Harvard scientists.
I like that the stories are relatable and it's not just adult stuff that you listen to. Kids can listen to it too and they know what's happening in the world.
The World Wide Web is celebrating a birthday.
They get to listen to the news and then it always starts a conversation.
Last November, 9-year-old Riley Morrison wrote to Warriors great Steph Curry, challenging him on why his namesake shoes were only available for boys.
Every day there's at least a story that has to do with a kid somewhere in the country that did something really interesting or did something really brave or started something new.
Today we're going to listen to an exciting podcast called KiDNuz.
For most car makers, it's all about speed and acceleration. And then there's Volvo, which is taking a bold new move to put the brakes on serious accidents.
Listening really is a lost art.
Top speed on all new models from 130 miles per hour to 112.
To see students engaged in current events and really important topics of the day is inspiring for me as a superintendent, and I think that KiDNuz has a wonderful opportunity to create space.
In a few weeks, a group of high-flying women will take a historic walk on the wild side.
I like how they tell you all these things so you're not behind everything. So let's say your parents are talking at dinner and you have no idea what they're talking about.
And that's it for KiDNuz. Now the KiDNuz quiz.
My favorite thing is usually the quiz because it reminds me of everything that happened before.
What happens at 2 a.m. this Sunday?
Daylight savings.
How did Duke's Zion Williamson shade Nike?
He wore all head to toe while game.
Me and my brother and sister have a competition who can do it the fastest and get the right answer.
It's so important. I think kids these days are so consumed with technology and their devices, and they're reading or watching everything, that to take a moment to actually not be looking at a screen, but to just be taking in the information and listening to it is something that's still really important and that doesn't happen probably as much as it should.
Thanks for listening. We hope you tune in for more KiDNuz tomorrow morning.
This is our mission and our value. We just want to inform kids without scaring them. And we have found that it is helping improve listening skills, and definitely for parents, it is sparking conversations. We're doing something right. Parents Magazine has named us one of the top podcasts your children should be listening to. This is our team. We created and managed the #1 newscast in the 5th largest market for like 100 years, and we have 12 children and 9 Emmys between us. We are here looking for educators who might want to add us to the classroom, partners, like-minded companies who might want to team up and help us extend our reach, and investors who might want to fund the bottom line and help us reach our potential. This is our plan. We currently have our flagship podcast, which is geared towards kids 6 to 12 or 13. We are hoping to add another podcast in the coming months for teenagers who can handle longer stories, a little more detail. And we keep getting asked to add video, so at some point we will probably do that for the screen generation. We at least want to be the accurate part of whatever they're seeing. We do believe we have some monetary potential. We believe with the right funding and the right people on board, we can double our audience every quarter. The issue we're having is that we are for journalists. We are not business people, not public speakers, as you can tell. So we can produce a great newscast for kids, but we need your help with everything else. So if you're one of those people or one of those companies that would like to help us out, this is my contact information, or I can be reached through the app, and I so appreciate your time today.